The silence in the Galactic Council chamber was deafening. For the first time in 300 cycles, not a single human representative occupied the sleek, crystalline seats designated for Terra's delegation. The absence spoke louder than any protest ever could. Lily Chen stood at the observation deck of the Exodus Prime, watching the blue marble of Earth shrink in the viewport. Her reflection stared back at her, dark eyes tired, jaw set with determination. Behind her, the massive colony ship hummed with the lives of 50,000 souls, all leaving their homeworld behind. Last transport just cleared the moon's orbit, Jack Morrison announced, his voice carrying across the bridge. The former council liaison officer moved with practiced efficiency, his hands dancing across holographic displays. That's it, Lily, we're the last ones. Lily nodded slowly. Then let's join the fleet. The decision hadn't come suddenly. It had built over decades like pressure beneath a tectonic plate. The Galactic Council had welcomed humanity with open arms 2 centuries ago, promising partnership, mutual growth, and prosperity. Earth had given everything, their resources, their innovations, their blood in council wars they never started. In return, humanity received restrictions, regulations, and ridicule. Jack remembered the final council session vividly. Ambassador Velkrath of the Zynthian Empire had laughed, actually laughed, when Jack presented evidence of the mining operations stripping Earth's ocean floors. Your world was primitive before we arrived, the ambassador had clicked through his translator. Consider it payment for civilization. The council had voted. Humanity's complaint was dismissed. 37 worlds against, 2 abstaining, 0 in favor. That night, Lily had made the call that would change everything. As Earth's chief of logistics, she initiated Protocol Exodus, a contingency plan humanity had quietly developed over 50 years. Not a rebellion, not a war, simply departure. The Galactic Council didn't notice at first. Humans were everywhere, after all, repairing quantum drives that somehow never worked quite right for other species, manning the medical stations where human doctors achieved miraculous recovery rates, operating the agricultural stations that fed 17 worlds. They were the background noise of galactic civilization, easy to overlook, until they weren't there anymore. The Vexian commerce networks collapsed first. Their entire trade algorithm had been maintained by a human woman named Sarah, who'd spent 30 years optimizing their routes. She'd left no notes, no documentation. The system was intuitive to her, impossibly complex to everyone else. Within weeks, ships sat idle at stations, cargo rotting in holds. Then the medical crisis hit. The Zynthians discovered that their advanced healing pods didn't actually work. They'd been quietly repaired and recalibrated by human technicians for decades. Without them, the pods were expensive boxes that beeped pleasantly while doing nothing. Lily watched the news feeds obsessively during those first months. Jack would find her in the observation deck, scrolling through desperate council broadcasts. They're calling it the silent catastrophe, Jack said, settling beside her with 2 cups of coffee. Real coffee. Precious now that they'd left Earth behind. 17 worlds experiencing infrastructure failures. The council is in emergency session. Have they tried contacting us? Lily asked. Constantly. We're not answering. Jack's expression was grim. Ambassador Velkrath issued a formal demand for our return. Called it our duty to the galactic community. Lily laughed bitterly. Now we have duties. The human fleet had scattered across uncharted space, small groups seeking new worlds beyond council borders. The Exodus Prime led the largest contingent, 10 colony ships carrying 500,000 people toward a promising star system humanity had secretly surveyed decades ago. The journey took 3 years. In that time, the galactic economy didn't collapse entirely, but it stuttered. The council races discovered something troubling. They'd grown dependent on human ingenuity without ever acknowledging it. Humans didn't just follow instructions. They improved things, fixed problems that weren't officially broken, made impossible things work. Other species could learn, of course. But humans had a peculiar talent for improvisation, for seeing solutions where others saw only obstacles. It was the product of evolving on a death world where creativity meant survival, where nothing ever came easy. The council finally understood what they'd lost when the Keltorian Star Bridge project failed. It was supposed to be the crown jewel of galactic engineering, a network of quantum gates connecting the inner worlds. The project had been 90% complete when humanity left. Without human engineers to solve the final integration problems, the bridge couldn't activate. 300 years of planning, trillions in resources, all useless. Lily was in her ready room when Jack brought her the message. His expression was unreadable. "It's from the Council," he said quietly. "Personal channel maximum encryption. Addressed to you specifically." She took the data pad, expecting demands or threats. Instead, she found something she'd never thought to see. An apology. It was signed by all 40 council members. They acknowledged their mistakes, their arrogance, their blindness. They asked, not demanded, asked for humanity to return. They offered full council membership, protected status for Earth, reparations for damages. But it was the final line that made Lily's hands tremble. "We never said thank you. For everything you did, for everything you gave, we never simply said thank you. We were fools. We are sorry." Jack watched her face carefully. "What do you want to do?" Lily looked out at the stars, at the fleet of human ships bound for a new home. Behind them, the Galactic Council finally understood the value of what they'd dismissed. Ahead, humanity's future waited, unwritten and free. "Send a response," Lily said finally. "Tell them, we appreciate their apology. We truly do. But," Jack prompted, "but we're not coming back." Lily's voice was firm, not to fix their problems, not to be their invisible workforce. "We'll trade with them, communicate with them, maybe even ally with them. As equals, nothing less." Jack smiled, the first genuine smile she'd seen from him in months. "I'll draft the message." As the Exodus Prime approached their new world, a planet they'd named New Terra, Lily understood something profound. The greatest power humanity possessed wasn't their technology or their tenacity. It was their ability to walk away with dignity intact, to choose their own path even when it meant starting over. The Galactic Council had learned a lesson 300 years in the making. Respect isn't given freely to the indispensable. Sometimes it only comes when they depart without saying a word.